So everybody's talking about the new $2,000 stimulus check that we'll be getting for the money that the tariffs have made so far, right? And on this video, I want to talk about three things. One, why I don't believe it's going to happen. I want to talk about why I think it's a bad idea if it does happen. And essentially, I want to talk about why the math doesn't add up, which kind of ties into number one, right? Why I don't think it will happen. The math just isn't there. Although it sounds great, and although it sounds free money that's made from all these imports, the tariffs that we've made, I just don't believe it. And although inflation has cooled down since the last couple of years, it's staying a little bit stagnant right now, and that plays a big role into why I think it's going to be a bad idea. So first things first, I want to talk about why I don't think it's going to happen. Now, earlier in Trump's presidency, he already made a couple of promises that he's going to give checks to Americans.
Under consideration, a new concept where we give 20% of the Doge savings to American citizens and 20% goes to paying down debt, because the numbers are incredible, Elon. So many billions of dollars, billions, hundreds of billions, and we're thinking about giving 20% back to the American citizens and 20% down to pay back debt and pay down debt.
And it just never happened, right? Well, whether it's because it didn't pass or whether it's just because he was just kind of, just saying things out of his rear end, it didn't happen. So there's no promise made to it. It's just, more of an idea, but it's an idea that he basically said he's gonna make happen. Like he didn't say, I'm gonna put the post up right here. He didn't say that we're thinking about it. He didn't say that, it's in the works. He said that we're gonna give Americans $2,000 for the tariffs that have been made, all the profit, and the rest essentially he's going to give back to paying down the national debt that we have. And he did put a little caveat on there saying that it's not going to be for essentially high income earners, right? It's going to be for the lower class economy, or the people who haven't been making as much. And there's no bracket to that. We don't know where the cap is for that. We don't know who is somebody who makes enough money. It can be somebody who makes over $100,000. That's what if it's done, I think that's what it would be. Anybody who makes over $100,000, it's not going to get the $2,000 stimulus check. Now, if we do the math based off of people who essentially are in that under $100,000 tax bracket, essentially that's about 150 million people, give or take, right? Rough numbers. I'm just doing this for the basic sake of math. If there's 150 million people who are receiving a $2,000 stimulus check, that's 300 billion, right? That's $300 billion. Now, so far, and you can look this up, tariffs have made about $195 billion, right? So tariffs have brought in, so far in 2025, $195 billion. And if they're going to give 150 million people $2,000, then that where are they going to get the other $100 billion? Where are they going to get that money? So I think if they're going to promise that, we don't know if it's going to be over the course of the next couple of years, but I think if they promise that, which that's not what it sounded like, but I think if they promise that, that means that the Fed has to fund the rest of the $100 billion. And we're already in a deficit. We're already in so much debt that I don't know why they would do that. How would they do that? They're going to start printing out more money. Now, this is why I think it's going to be bad, because if they do that and they start printing out more money, yes, we're going to get $2,000 back. And yes, it's going to be nice. But although the circumstances were different, it's different than, think about what happened when we received that stimulus check. Although it helped us for a season, inflation drove up, it went so high up because the Fed started printing out more money. And that's a cause of inflation. That's a cause of inflation. It's not the only main cause, but it's a cause of inflation. When, the Fed starts printing out money and we don't have it to be backed by gold, inflation starts shooting up. Now, inflation right now is stagnant, okay? Inflation is about at a 3%. which is 0.1% higher than the last couple of months. It's significantly lower than the last couple of years when we were at like 5%, but it's staying stagnant right now. It's not lowering, it's staying stagnant. It's not as bad, but it's staying stagnant. And it's been stagnant for the last couple of months. So if we start receiving money that the Feds is printing out again, it's just going to keep rising inflation. And that's obviously not good. Right now, the cost of things are still some things are going down, but I mean, the other day I just paid $7 for organic milk. I do get organic, but like 6 months ago I was paying, I don't know what, $1.50 less for milk. So inflation is still up there. Okay, it's not really cooling down as much as we'd like. Now, I don't know if this is something that's just being said, right? I don't know if this is something that Trump is just trying to get a rise out of people to keep them going. But I want you, I watched the video from Clear Value Tax. He's one of the only YouTubers who I really watch because he's very straightforward and he knows what he's talking about. And he made a very great point to the MAGA. He said the MAGA crowd, and I agree with it. Whether you're voting for Republican or Democrat, whether you're on the right, whether on your left, you have to realize something. You have to question everybody and all these politicians and the government. Just because you voted for Trump doesn't mean that he's doing everything right. Doesn't mean like you have to treat him like a god. You need to question these things because I guarantee you there's a lot of people out there right now who are hearing Trump saying $2,000 stimulus check and they're like head over heels, right? Like Trump is doing so good. The tariffs are great. But you got to understand something too. When it comes to tariffs, we as the American people are paying that extra cost for tariffs. We are paying that extra cost because that price hike is getting passed down to us. Now, to go back to my point, you need to question everything that these politicians say, right? At the end of the day, he's a politician. Like, you have to question what they're saying and why they're saying it and why it doesn't make sense. And at the end of the day, $2,000 stimulus checks for people who are making $100,000 a year just doesn't make sense. Mathematically, it's not there. Math is math. It's not magic. I mean, if you do the math, you're going to realize like there's something off about this. Now, maybe there's going to be something that there's going to be more rules into it, right? Maybe it's going to be over the next 2-3 years or whatever the case is. If that's the case, then maybe I can see it working. But again, if you're putting tariffs to pay off the national debt, but you're using all of that money to give back to the American people, although it's great for us, I would love a $2,000 check. It still doesn't. It defeats the purpose of why you put tariffs in the first place. Okay. Now, if there's something I missed, then please correct me down in the comments below. Comment down why you think this is a good idea, why you think it's a bad idea, and what would happen to the economy if we receive $2,000 stimulus checks from tariffs when we haven't even made that much money, okay? Comment down below. Please do me a favor, like this video. I know I'm talking and driving, but I promise you I'm paying very close attention to the road. Half of the time I'm talking to myself in the car anyway, so it's like might as well just make a video. I've been wanting to make these videos and I really appreciate the support that you guys have given me. I'm sorry I haven't posted. It's just been really rough with a lot of life things going on right now, but I want to get back into it and hopefully I stay on track to provide solid points for you to follow, and hopefully what I'm saying makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, again, please comment down below. I'd be more than happy to clarify. And just to go back, I don't think this is going to happen based off of the last stimulus checks that we were supposed to receive. If it does happen, I think it's going to be bad for the economy. I think we're going to suffer at the end. And 3, the math just doesn't add up. There's money that's going to have to be printed. It just doesn't add up. Thank you guys for watching. And until next time, love you guys all. Peace.